Wow, you guys really liked my motorcycle video so far. When I read the comments, the most requested video was starter bikes. So as thanks, here are 25 best beginner motorcycles. I have them separated by 5 bikes of each type / riding style, but certain types have been omitted because I want to focus on beginner friendly motorcycle types, so you won't see any baggers, choppers, super sports, hyper sports, or extremely large ADV bikes. I hope you understand. If you want a video explaining all of the motorcycle types, make sure to comment it down below and subscribe for future uploads. The criteria of this video will be around 50 horsepower or under, less than 550 pounds, and less than 10 grand. So without further ado, let's start off with the expected, the quintessential, and the standard, if you will. The standard / nakeds. These are a perfect mix of sporty looks and comfortable ergonomics. The Honda CB series, the 350 Highness or the 300R, starting for around $4,949. The classically styled 350 Highness with a simple and reliable air-cooled single cylinder, as well as its slightly sportier modern CB variant, the 300R. These are both fantastic naked / standard bikes to start on, with its slightly sporty seating position while also having classic modern looks. The company itself calls these bikes neo-classic. The Highness, however, is not available in the United States, but thankfully the 300R still is. The Highness gets around 100 miles per gallon and the 300R will get around 85 miles per gallon. The KTM 390 Duke, 43 horsepower, bright orange colors, 6-speed transmission mated to a liquid-cooled single cylinder. This is a fantastic beginner bike with some fun and flash built in, 60 miles per gallon. Kawasaki Z400. It's reliable, it's Japanese, and it's very green. The Z400 is basically the Ninja 400 just without the fairings. It costs around $5,399. Yamaha MT-03. Inline 2, 50 horsepower and only 370 pounds. The Yams and Yamaha MT-03 features transformer-like futuristic styling with about 56 miles per gallon. The Benelli Leoncino 500. A bit more displacement, but similar power and nothing scary. The 375-pound, 48 horsepower, 2-cylinder Benelli is a nice stylish choice for those just wanting something a little different looking, and it gets around 60 miles to the gallon. Moving on to cruisers though, maybe you're looking for something to munch some miles and melt into your seat. Well, these will be just for you. Royal Enfield Meteor series, the 350 as well as the 650 Super Meteor. 20 horsepower, single cylinder for the 350, it's 392 pounds, and it's very easy to ride, gentle cruising, and it's a money-saving machine. All Royal Enfield motorcycles come with a 3-year unlimited mileage fender-to-fender warranty for an added peace of mind, beating out any warranty in the motorcycle industry. Although you probably won't even have to use it, as Enfields are known to be tough iron horses. They've survived the literal battlefield, so they will definitely survive the streets as well. If you're a bigger guy or just looking for a bit more highway power, you can size up to the 650. It's about 50 horsepower and still gets 70 miles to the gallon. The Kawasaki Vulcan S. This is probably the most name-dropped, most mentioned starter cruiser, especially in today's world. It's $7,349. And if you're looking for something that has a bit more sportiness in terms of lean angle, in terms of acceleration, in terms of RPM, and in terms of styling, this is a 4.2 second 0 to 60 vehicle that has about 65-ish horsepower while also still getting a very healthy 16 miles to the gallon. The Harley Davidson Iron 883. Classic, rugged, simple, and narrow as can be. It's the Sportster. It's a simple and beautiful machine. Unfortunately, this bike has been discontinued from Harley Davidson, so it can no longer be purchased brand new, and the used prices are currently going up because of that. It is the largest displacement vehicle in this video, but don't let that scare you because it still only makes about 50 horsepower and 50-ish torque. It does 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds. The Yamaha V-Star 650. For $2 grand-ish, this is probably one of the cheapest bikes in the video. You can easily find these used around that price mark, a little more for better condition, sometimes a little less for really clapped out conditions, but it is still just an old V-Star. It's a reliable V-twin with 40 horsepower, and it's easy to pick up for someone looking to just get into something cheap and just wanting to cruise a little bit and just kind of learn on their own. The Honda Rebel 300 or 500. Rounding off the cruisers is a well-rounded, cheap, simple, punchy Rebel. It's got cruiser seat height, but it does have naked styling as well as naked / standard peg positions, allowing you to rev out the engine and get some extra lean angle through the turns. 300 if you want to save gas, but even then, the 500 still gets 67 miles per gallon, and it'll keep up better on the highway, so it's up to you. I think either one's a great starter bike. Moving on to sports bikes, you want something sleek, nimble, stylish, and lots of lean angle. You want fast too? Let's hold off on that part for now, because unlike cars, speed can get you into a lot of trouble on 2 wheels. Sport bikes are 4 times more likely to end up in fatal crashes than any other motorcycle. It's not because they themselves are dangerous motorcycles, it's because too many spec sheet nerds are buying 3-second ones but don't have the talent to handle it. So let's develop that talent part first. I get it, you still want something that has fast styling, even if it's not super fast itself. Moving on to probably one of the best starter bikes in history, a fantastic rider. I've got personal experience with this and I always have a nice place in my heart. The Kawasaki Ninja 400. $5,299. You have a 4-ish second 0 to 60 with 49 horsepower. The Kawasaki Ninja 400 is probably one of the best starter bikes ever. It's handsome, sleek, and it's also certified forever bike status. This is something you can buy right now, upgrade to something else, but you can always come back to it. Whether it's a track learner or a city commuter, this may yet find an extended stay in your heart and within your garage. The Yamaha R3, the Yams and Haha R3, a staple choice, 36 horsepower, 56 miles per gallon, and amazing color waves. This is basically just Yamaha's version of their starter bike, carries all that traditional Yamaha racing heritage and styling. The Honda CBR Series 300 or 500 for $4,899 to $7,299, you get a reliable and safe Honda, and you just can't go wrong with that. I know some people are going to say that CBRs have become more boring over the years, but to be fair, I say that all beginner bikes aren't exactly meant for super duper excitement, so you may as well get one that's not a headache to own. Again, super reliable. KTM RC390, a new face to the scene, a shocking twist considering their CEO's words, but yeah, KTM sport bike, or well, an entry-level sport bike. Again, the signature dashing orange, even colored into the beautiful frame, the RC390 shares a lot of the same components with the very popular Duke, so you won't worry too much about getting replacement parts. The Jix 250R. This is only here because I had to put a Suzuki here. Yeah, so don't light me on fire. Don't light this bike on fire either. Moving on to mini motos and scooters, this is for people who aren't looking into super duper speed, but just still want some of the fun of two wheels. A lot of Americans used to really knock down on mini motos and scooters, but lately they've been seeing a surge in popularity, and then from the fuel crisis they've been seeing an even bigger surge in popularity. So without further ado, the Honda Cub series. Of course I have to mention this one first. This is the most sold motor vehicle ever produced in history, and for good reason. If you're looking for an easy to ride but not so slow that you can't keep up with traffic vehicle, then the Honda Super Cub is perfect for you. It's a centrifugal clutch, meaning that it cannot stall. It doesn't have a physical clutch operated by your hand, the bike itself takes care of it. This is great for beginners to learn riding without fear of stalling, while still teaching you the basics of shifting gears, rev matching, and have a rear foot brake as opposed to handlebar brakes like for bicycles or most other scooters. With 10 horsepower and weighing as much as the average American male, and retro styling with 4 gears to choose from, there's plenty of fun to be had with such a simple machine. No fear of dropping, no fear of stalling, and if you're not in love with the scooter fairings, don't worry. Honda offers a Trail Cub version called the CT125 that more or less is the same bike internally, just different tires and very cool mountain bike styling. It literally looks like a garage project, but like refined. It looks like a mountain bike that just has an engine strapped to it. Very visceral and very simple. And again, it's for someone who doesn't want something that's too moped-like, because you can ride one of these and transition to a motorcycle and not feel too out of place because everything will be located in the exact same locations. The Grom and Monkey for $3,499. Just kidding. These are $5,000. Don't ever listen to the MSRP. People pay a lot for these days. And even used, they're still $4,000. Grom. These are super expensive because of stunter markup, which is basically like drift tax for cars, but in this case, it's wheelie tax for stunt learners. Both of these bikes, super cool looking, super quirky, but you will have to fight some stunt tax if you want one. And it's harder to justify one of these as an entry-level bike for someone who's also looking to save money, because $5,000 could go a really long way in getting, I guess, a more powerful bike if that is something you do care about. But if you just love the styling of these bikes, I do have an alternative recommendation, a Kawasaki Z125. Yeah, I'm gonna get burned on the stake for this. Well, look at the bright side, at least you can buy this one for MSRP. It does have significantly less aftermarket than the Grom does, but to be fair, if you're a beginner, you probably don't care about that. If you're someone looking to buy a project bike, this video wasn't for you anyways. You're probably gonna go with the Grom because you want the aftermarket. The Vespa 150, Italian vintage and Justin Bieber something California something Hollywood vibes. Also, yes, the girl in Fully Coolly does ride a Vespa. Please buy a Vespa 150 or above. It's only $1,000 more than the 50cc. And look, I'm sorry, but a 1 to 2 horsepower 50cc, even though it can be ridden with a car license, you're just gonna get trampled in the United States. It has a 35-mile top speed, and that's just way too slow. And a lot of states actually have super strict guidelines for which roads you can use 50cc vehicles on. That's just too much trouble to keep track of and get stressed over, especially if you're someone who's only 16 years old and just learning to just commute around town. Also, being at top speed constantly stresses the engine, so I know way too many high schoolers who blew up their Vespa engine 50cc. So please just get a $10 motorcycle permit. Just go to DMV. I know the line sucks, but it's worth getting a motorcycle permit to at least be able to buy Vespa 150 instead. Going too slow just gets everyone honking at you, everyone gets stressed, people might punishment pass you, which is a term that I mentioned in the previous video. So if you haven't watched a previous video, definitely go check it out after this video. It's 5 just dog turd driving habits that non-car people do. And if you love automotive content, make sure to subscribe and make sure to like this video if you're enjoying it so far. However, onto the Vespa 150cc. Like I said, it's only 1 grand more than the 50cc. It has a 49 to 55-ish mile top speed in real world applications. I believe they advertise like a 60-65, but that's wishful thinking. It is still just a one continuous fart sound automatic transmission, but hey, that's easy to ride, twist and go. I guess what I'm just trying to get to is $5,799 is that's a lot. I'm sorry if I upset the 5 Vespa fans watching. It's hard to justify $5,799 when there are so many better beginner motorcycle choices. If you're really scared of shifting, I guess you can buy this because it's an automatic, or because you just love the brand name, the brand styling, or Justin Bieber, but I'm just gonna say it again, Super Cub gang 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 gang. The Kymco AK550, $8,999. This isn't a sport bike. This is what's called a maxi scooter. It's liquid-cooled parallel twin, and it puts out a healthy 53 horsepower and 112 mile top speed for a scooter. This is a fully automatic scooter that looks like this, and it can go decently fast. It has enough space to fit 2 helmets or a suitcase / backpack underneath its seat. You even have some storage cubbies that you can put your phones and other stuff into, just like you would in a car. The more I look at this vehicle, so strangely cooler it becomes. Like, I kind of just wanted to make fun of it when I first put it in this video, but legit actually is kind of sick. Like, look at this dash first off. This looks like an Aventador dash. Well, come on, motorcycles, we're losing to this? There's a scooter that's actually outdoing us in something right now? Like, holy crap, let's move on. I'm coming back to this someday. I'm talking about this bike again. I'll make a video on it if I can, but we'll come back to this, alright? Moving on to the final section of this video are scramblers, dual sports, and just kind of off-road assorted. So let's talk about the eccentric, the explorative, the off-road. The Suzuki DRZ. DRZ is DRZ and does DRZ things, so go buy a DRZ if you like DRZ, am I right, fellas? I don't know, just go pop a dank wooly and crack open some cold ones. It's a 4-stroke liquid-cooled single-cylinder, 319 pounds, soaking wet with 35 horsepower and a 95 mile top speed. Kawasaki KLR. The DRZ, but not DRZ. The KLR is a KLR that does KLR things because KLR. Also, haha, carburetor go burr. Except for the latest years, because they finally went fuel injected. This is actually cheaper than the DRZ, surprisingly, despite having more displacement, but power is somewhat comparable, funnily enough. It's a 32.1-inch seat height, single cylinder with 40 horsepower and 39 torque. The KLR is a workhorse with a famously sturdy farm bike reputation and the victim of childhood me's stupid shenanigans. Rip front forks. You'll forever be missed. Fun fact, Costco's in the Midwest can sell these. No, I'm not joking. I'm absolutely not imagining that either. The Midwest totally is real. It totally is not a figment of my imagination. The neighboring state of Ohio to the state that I grew up in, Indiana, is very much a real location and not a secret backroom designed by the United States government. The Royal Enfield Himalayan / Scram. Single cylinder, 411cc, and more color options than any other vehicle in this video, while also having more usable low-end torque than most bikes of larger displacement. The 75 miles per gallon, 5 grand, gorgeous British World War II military police style vehicle is an absolute gem. It's one of the most popularly sold vehicles in the world right now, and for good reason, not just because of reliability, the great warranty, great price, but also because of, well, I don't know, it's just good, alright? The Honda CRF300. Honda. It's a Honda, but dirt Honda. Honda. Go places, or whatever. I don't actually know their slogan. My Super Cub came with a manual that had their slogan, but I'm not gonna lie, it also came with a 2021 Super Cub anime instruction guide. I wish that were a joke, but it really isn't. In 2021, Honda made a whole anime just to teach Super Cub riders how to start, ride, maintain, and even buy helmets. I don't know if they do it anymore, but my 2021 Super Cub did come bundled with a copy of this glorified instruction manual. Take that, AutoZam instruction manual waifu, you finally got dethroned by Reiko, the Super Cub instructional DVD waifu. Oh, this was supposed to be about the CRF, wasn't it? Honda. It's a Honda. Dirt-capable Honda, but still a Honda. Reliable. Honda. Red. Honda. Zonda. Not a Zonda. It's a Honda. The Yams and Haha World Record 250 Racing is a Yamaha. Not that Yamaha, no, not that Yamaha either, this kind of Yamaha. Guys, it's at this point I'd like to point out that these 25 list videos always make me derail towards the end. This is what happens when list videos get cranked to the absolute extreme and you expect me to do 25 entries in one freaking video. I don't ever think I made it to the end of one of these videos without derailing, so if you have enjoyed the experience so far and found a new bike to lust after, then make sure to check out my other stupid 25 car guide videos or my other motorcycle videos. Subscribe if you love automotive content, like this video if you found it helpful, and share it to a friend. Or your pet turtle, I don't care. Other than that, thanks for watching. Blade Angel out.